Hello everyone, this is Ange. Welcome to another episode of the Visual Novel Monthly Recap, this time talking about news related to May of 2024. P-Cube announced Genso Manege, a magical girl otome where she has to help guys trapped in a music park or something. Surprisingly, not only will this be on Switch, but rarely for an otome, will actually also be on Steam. Shirobune released Mashifoni Symphony HD Remake, originally developed by Palette, the developer of visual novels like Sakushaku and the 9-9 series. This is a moege that involves a plain guy merging with an all-girls rich school like Princess Evangel or Kinkoi. It's a generally regarded classic from about 10 years ago in Japan, but some people note the relatively slow romance build-up in almost all its routes. The Sana route for Mashifoni Symphony was released separately. The reason for this is that because this version is based on a route originally from a console port, but they included brand new H-scenes that have art and animations similar to modern palette visual novels. Sana's route is an offshoot of Miu's route and will have content from the beginning of her route, so be prepared if you're interested in reading Sana's route. For the upcoming PS4 physical release, specifically of Tsukihime Remake A Piece of Blue Glass Moon, there's going to be some censorship in the manual for some art or something, not in the actual game to my knowledge so far. Denpasoft released a new game called Kuri Kuri Click. It's an odd grope simulator that leads to, as you might guess, a lot of beach sex. The developer Succulent released Lunar Maiden, Riverside Angel, and the Godlike Moment. This is a linear, very rare 18+ otome release. Some people have said the translation is kinda rough, but as long as you don't mind that, people looking for an 18+ otome seem to like it well enough since it actually has a story. Shirobune announced An Aunt After My Own Heart, a visual novel by the same developers as the Nope Nope Nurses series. Based on the title, I think it's pretty safe this is a Nukige with its intentions on full display. Sadly, Steam rejected this title, so you'd have to pre-order support it on stores like Joren, Jast, Manga Gamer, or Denpasoft. Shirobune released Amanatsu. This was developed by Azodashi Soft, the same developer of the popular untranslated title Amakano that many people have been asking for. However, Amanatsu was actually written by the same writer of the Making Lovers and Chihiro Himoukai visual novels, and seems to be going for a more typical, slow, calming slice of life in the countryside. For those who prefer to use Jast as your non-Steam visual novel store, they added the ability to add short reviews on their site. Just keep in mind you have to own the game, you can only rate it out of 5 stars, and reviews have a 1,000 character max limit and a 0 character minimum length. In a wild, out-of-nowhere announcement, Visual Arts made a tweet that they will be translating an HD version of Kanon, the first ever Key visual novel. If you want to see the beginnings of Key, aka the developer of stories like Clannad, Little Busters, and Summer Pockets, be sure to wishlist on Steam to show your support. Manga Gamer announced they'll be doing a rare international release for the fandisc of the Otome Steam Prison Beyond the Steam. It should release in Japanese and English on both Steam and Switch at the same time sometime in the future. If you like USB physicals, Manga Gamer announced them for both Higurashi Hole Plus and Umineko series. These contain all 8 main episodes for both series. People have been begging Sekai Project for several years now, and they finally gave in as they announced that they will be translating the fandisc for Wagamama High Spec OC. This is a moege developed by Madosoft, and it's a fandisc that will have afterstories for the original 4 main heroines, plus routes for Karen, Chitose, and Yukari. From the Denpasoft side of Sekai Project specifically, they also announced that they'll be translating Kuri Kuri Click 2. Seems like it'll have the same gameplay as Kuri Kuri Click 1 as stated earlier in this video, but with new characters in a Night Renaissance setting. Ninetale started a Kickstarter for the translation of their next Venus Blood title, Ragnarok. As a reminder, this is a turn-based strategy fantasy RPG visual novel series. I'm not familiar about Ragnarok specifically, but the fans seem excited as the Kickstarter already met its initial funding goal. A major writer for Alisoft titles like Dona Dona, a few Rance titles, and Beat Wars, Dice Korogashi left Alisoft and is now a freelancer. The bad news is this is probably Alisoft basically confirming that they're no longer doing new visual novels. That means if you like the writer for the above titles, you could potentially be a big part of another developer going forward. Last month, the 2 visual novels based on the anime and manga The Quintessential Quintuplets got leaked. This month, Spike Chunsoft officially announced and released it, and not only is it on PS4 and Switch, but also Steam, so everyone is happy. As a reminder, Memories of a Quintessential Summer is an original story where the main characters are stuck on an island for a few days. In 5 Memories Spent With You, this is where the player can alter the canon ending of the original series and get to actively choose which of the quintuplets the main character should have gone out with, including romance slice of life scenes afterwards, visual novel route style. Both games have a point-and-click style and different endings. On Steam, you can get get either VN separately, while on consoles you can buy a double pack of both visual novels bundled together. Shiane Hito and Sep7 have created a fan translation for Little Busters SS. This was a very short side story to Little Busters that was iOS and Android only. The patch currently only works with Windows BlueStack app, an Android emulator. Idea Factory released the fan disc to Cupid Parasite Sweet and Spicy Darling exclusively on Nintendo Switch. As far as I know, there's a new route for a new love interest, Mernice, but don't know too much about it otherwise. A fan translation released for Alice's Cottage. This is a very old PC-98 release that stars Alice as a mascot, Alice, in the first of many short titles in that series. A fan translation released for Biniku no Kaori, or how the fan translator localized it as The Scent of Seductive Flesh. This is a surprisingly popular old title developed by Elf, the maker of things like the original Yuno and the Dokusei series. This is a highly rated NTR or cuckoldry series that apparently is considered pretty good despite the expected high amount of cheating-related H scenes. Speaking of Elf, it looks like the creator of the Dokusei 1 remake announced that they already plan on doing a remake for Dokusei 2 and Yaken Byoto, or sometimes known as Night Shift Nurses, two really old titles developed by Elf. Looks like they want to continue doing Elf-developed remakes at least once a year if possible. In a live stream started by the developer Palette, they announced an anime adaptation of 9-9. The original visual novel was a linear, episodic title with magic action, mystery drama, and a little romance. An anime adaptation seems like the medium where 9-9's story could work, but like most visual novel adaptations, time will only tell if it actually turns out good or not. That is all for May of 2024. As always, if you have any feedback, positive or negative, feel free to leave a comment below or on one of my social medias. Now for the shoutout section of this video. First, I always gotta give a shout out to my boy, the local weeb, who consistently does the editing for almost all my videos these days. And now for the YouTube members. First, we have Armorian, who's been in the VN Weirdo tier for 5 months. Alberio, who's been in the VN Weirdo tier for 7 months. Sabinfire, who's been in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 9 months. David Mendiola, who's been in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 11 months. Lee Douglas, who's been in the VN Weirdo tier for 12 months or a year. Marie Antoinette, who's been in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 12 months or a year. And Dexton Boston Terrier Dog RIP, who's been in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 14 months or a year and 2 months. Finally, a shout out to 2 Kohi donators, Bartek and T-Lover. Much appreciated to all of you.